Recycling, taking the next step. In 1987, the Millboro 4000 set sail from Islip, New York, bound for Morehead City, North Carolina, with almost 3,200 tons of trash. The barge was turned away. 57 days later, the barge returned to Islip, New York, with the same load of trash. The incident sparked a national public discussion about waste disposal and may have been a factor in increased recycling rates in the late 1980s and after. Recycling has become a part of our daily lives in the United States. You see the symbol everywhere. There are approximately 8,600 curbside recycling programs in the U.S., and everyone from small towns to major corporations have environmental impact plans. But with only 33.4% of our solid waste recycled, we can do more. Join us in this journey through the types of recyclable materials and learn how you can do more to help the environment through recycling.
Plastics. Only 8% of the plastic waste generated in 2011 was recovered for recycling. As vigilant as we might be with our recycling, we've got our work cut out for us, especially considering that 94% of Americans have access to plastic bottle recycling. With an increasing number of types and shapes of plastics being accepted by recyclers, it's getting easier and easier to put plastic in the recycling bin instead of the trash bin. Every plastic container or bottle has a recycling symbol. The symbol is a number ranging from 1 to 7 within a triangle. While you may think nothing of these symbols, they can actually offer a great deal of information regarding the toxic chemicals used in the plastic. They also tell you how likely the plastic is to leach, how biodegradable the plastic is, and ultimately the safety of the plastic. Plastic number 1 is mostly found in soda bottles, water bottles, beer bottles, salad dressing containers, mouthwash bottles, and peanut butter containers. Plastic number 2 is mostly found in milk jugs, household cleaner containers, juice bottles, shampoo bottles, cereal box liners, detergent bottles, motor oil bottles, yogurt tubs, and butter tubs. Plastic number 3 is used to make food wrap, plumbing pipes, and detergent bottles. Plastic number 4 is found in squeezable bottles, shopping bags, clothing, carpet, frozen food, bread bags, and some food wraps. Plastic number 5 is typically found in yogurt containers, ketchup bottles, syrup bottles, and medicine bottles. Plastic number 6 is found in compact disc cases, egg cartons, meat trays, and disposable plates and cups. Lastly, plastic number 7 is made up of all the other types of plastic that don't fit into the other categories. We all know that grocery shopping means collecting a lot of plastic bags. According to the Wall Street Journal, the United States goes through 100 billion plastic shopping bags annually. This is an estimated cost of $4 billion for retailers every year. Only 1 to 3% of plastic bags are actually recycled worldwide. Of course, the most obvious way to decrease the impact of plastic bags is simply not to use them. There are many things that we can do and encourage others to do that will decrease the imprint of plastic bags on the planet. For example, we can use recyclable and reusable bags. We can recycle the plastic bags that we do use, and we can work with community groups to understand the impact of plastic bags.
Glass, especially glass food and beverage containers, can be recycled over and over again. Americans generated 11.5 million tons of glass in 2010, about 27% of which was recovered for recycling. Making new glass from recycled glass is typically cheaper than using raw materials. In 2012, Americans generated 11.6 million tons of glass. About 28% of that glass was recovered for recycling. Glass recycling increased from 750,000 tons in 1980 to more than 3 million tons in 2012. Most curbside community recycling programs accept different glass colors and types mixed together. Glass is sorted at the recovery facility. Check with your local program to see if you need to separate your glass or if it can be mixed together. To make glass, manufacturers mix sand, soda ash, limestone, and recycled crushed glass. They heat the mixture to a temperature of 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit and mold it into the desired shape. Using recycled crushed glass saves money and helps the environment because it costs less than raw materials. It melts at a lower temperature, which prolongs furnace life and saves energy. And less energy means reduced emissions of greenhouse gases. Paper makes up nearly 30% of all wastes Americans throw away each year, more than any other material. Americans use about 69 million tons of paper and paperboard annually. Each year, more than 2 billion books, 350 million magazines, and 24 billion newspapers are published. But about 37% of the fiber used to make new paper products in the U.S. comes from recycled sources. Americans recycled 63% of the paper they used in 2010. This recovered paper is used to make new paper products, saving trees and other natural resources. Most paper products in the United States come from 3 primary sources: 33% from recycled paper, 33% from whole trees and other plants, and the final 33% from wood chips and scraps from sawmills. Most community or office recycling programs accept paper and paper products. Check out what your community or office program accepts before you put it in the bin. When you go shopping, look for products that are made from recycled paper.
To take recycling to the next level, the recycling of batteries, electronics, household hazardous waste, and used car oil needs to be as commonplace as recycling paper, glass, and plastic. Americans throw out almost 180,000 tons of batteries each year, most of them single-use. Batteries contain toxic metals such as lead or mercury, which pose a threat to human health and the environment. Recycled batteries protect the environment by ensuring that heavy metals don't pollute our air, land, and water. Recycling also conserves resources because the metal recovered from the batteries are used to make new products. Lead-acid car batteries can be returned to almost any store that sells car batteries. Most retailers of car batteries, such as AutoZone and Advanced Auto Parts, are authorized to collect and recycle car batteries for free. The lead and the plastics from the batteries can be recycled and used to manufacture new products. About 96% of the lead-acid car batteries are recycled. Dry cell batteries are used in a variety of electronics. To recycle these types of batteries, look for in-store recycling bins or community collection events to dispose of dry cell batteries. Consumer electronics chains such as Best Buy, Circuit City, and Office Depot also typically have recycling kiosks inside their stores or outside the front entrance. Consumers can receive information about recycling centers from the municipalities, or they can consult websites to find municipal and other collection sites. Visit websites such as earth911.org for areas around you to drop off your batteries. Recycling electronics such as cell phones and computers is where we are only scratching the surface and can make a significant difference to the environment. Some facts about electronic recycling: only 25% of all electronics at the end of their useful lives were collected for recycling. Approximately 38% by weight of all computers ready for end-of-life management were collected for recycling. Only 8% of all mobile phones no longer in use were collected for recycling. When we recycle 1 million cell phones, it yields approximately 35,000 pounds of copper, 7,500 pounds of silver, 75 pounds of gold, and 30 pounds of palladium. Many mobile device manufacturers, wireless service providers, and other groups have programs to refurbish mobile devices or recycle their components, including accessories like chargers. For more information, check the websites of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, or the CTIA, the Wireless Association. Another option is to donate your device. Many organizations collect used mobile devices for charitable purposes. If If that's your choice, keep the environment in mind. The Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, recommends that you check with your local health and sanitation agencies for their preferred way to dispose of electronics. Leftover household products that contain corrosive, toxic, ignitable, or reactive ingredients are considered to be household hazardous waste. Products such as paints, cleaners, and pesticides that contain potentially hazardous ingredients require special care when disposed of them. Household hazard waste can be dangerous to people and for the environment if poured down the drain, dumped on the ground, or thrown out with the regular trash. See if your community collects household hazardous waste year-round. Some communities have exchange areas for unused or leftover paint, solvents, pesticides, and other materials. By taking advantage of these facilities, materials can be used by someone else rather than be thrown away. If your community doesn't have a year-round collection system for household hazardous waste, see if there are any designated days in your area for collecting hazardous waste. If your community has neither a permanent collection site nor a special collection day, you might be able to drop off certain products at local businesses for recycling or proper disposal. Never dump your used motor oil down the drain. The used oil from one oil change can contaminate 1 million gallons of fresh water. By recycling your used oil, you not only help keep our water supply clean, but help reduce America's dependency on oil. It takes 42 gallons of crude oil, but only 1 gallon of used oil to produce 2.5 quarts of new motor oil. Many garages and auto supply stores that sell motor oil also accept oil-free recycling.
Thank you for taking a few minutes to expand your view of recycling. We hope the next time you have to choose between trash or recycling, we hope you choose to recycle.